9397 Network and Hot 9397 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Brought to you by Haylove Saloon, Adam's Apple, Janet'sCloset.com, and Janet'sDungeon.com.
Oh, hey, good morning. Howdy, happy Wednesday, happy hump day, whatever it is. Good day to you. Top of the morning. All that stuff. Glad to see you. Well, I'm glad you see me. Better to be seen than viewed, I reckon. We're listening. Oh, wait, you can't listen. We're listening to young black teenagers who are actually white teenagers who are now actually white middle-aged men. Tap the bottle. Yeah. Turned on to me by Ken from Haylove Saloon. We're sitting there one afternoon playing pool, and I hear this song and I loved it. Yeah, so I put it right in our set list. It's from the 80s. I wouldn't call it hip hop, but whatever. So we're a minute away from getting started for the day. Wednesday, Celebrity Soup. The Grammy nominations came out. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm getting old. I remember when I was a young whippersnapper, I knew all the artists and I knew all their stuff, whether I enjoyed the music or not. I knew of it at least. I know more, Mary. If they haven't been in a movie and a song, I don't know who the hell it is. But anywho, that's just me. I don't know what happened the other day. My comments, I don't get all the comments here. I guess it depends. I get a message and it says that not all the streaming services I can get the messages. So there's some that I get on my phone. There's some that I get on the computer right here to pop up with the comment, little notification. And others I don't see till later if I look back at it. So I apologize if I miss your comment. It's not because I'm rude. There's a lot of other reasons that I'm rude. That's not one of them.
Jam out with your clam out or rock out with your just do it here on WHOT.
I wonder how this sounds.
Initiating launch sequence.
Phone on silent? Check. Keys in the picture? Check. Who trained me? Getting serious again.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, it's not that early. It's already 7:04 Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you're waking up well. If you're already awake somewhere eating lunch in France, top of the afternoon to you. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, November 16th already. Can you believe it? I can. Time flies. I say it all the time. It's not just me. But remember this. We talked a lot the last couple of days about putting things into perspective. We failed. But that's okay. I've got questions. We got a lot to talk about today. We certainly do. As always, we've got a bunch of crazy topics that we just got to wonder. We scratch our heads, right? And we go, how in the hell does this stuff happen in 2023 ever, let alone 2023, right? I mean, some of the craziest things ever happen. And it's just like we never learned. I got a question, and I don't understand. We have to relate these things for me. I'm talking about people defacing paintings or prominent fixtures in society for awareness of things. Why I say this, in Austria, climate protesters have thrown a black substance, aka paint, over a Gustav Klimt painting labeled, it's titled Death and Life. This is in the latest act targeting renowned works of art across the world to bring awareness to a cause. Forgive my ignorance, but what the hell does destroying a painting have to do to bringing awareness to your cause? It's actually against the law to vandalize, you dumb dipstick. But it gets even dumber, okay? It gets even dumber. And I don't care what your motive is. I don't care what your cause is. You're getting nowhere. Two activists belonging to a group called Last Generation launched their attack at Leopold Museum in Vienna, right? So you can see the picture. They walk up to it. They're wearing T-shirts that say "Stop Fossil" something or other, and we'll get to the bottom of that in a minute. But here's the even, okay, this is Dumb and Dumber. And if you can see the picture that I'm looking at, they could be the two in the movie. Dum Dum 1 is now under arrest from security, being put in a full Nelson. Well, both arms behind his back, but not yet the neck snap, right? Or whatever. Not that I know anything about that. The other dumb, dingbat, imbecile, dipstick, super glued his hand to the painting so that they couldn't clean the substance off the glass. Let's hope that it was under glass completely and the painting ain't ruined. But I have a funny feeling the painting's ruined. Yes, all over the work. Then a protester glued himself to it to protect the paint that was thrown. I love that. I can't imagine the thought process that went into that. They're sitting around the table, the masterminds of the deal. And the one guy goes, I'm going to bring a bladder of black paint in and we're going to squirt it all over there. And then the other guy goes, and I'll glue myself to it. What the? Get out of the room. Go away. But then wait a minute. What we attract, what we hang out with, it's indicative of who we are. So if you're dumb as a box of rocks, chances are your friends are just as stupid. Forgive my bluntness. Forgive my inability to be empathetic to any cause. Oh, what cause is it? Oh, we'll find out. Last Generation tweeted a video and pictures of the protest, probably proud to be vandalizing, to be committing crimes. I don't care what your cause is. New oil, quote, this is from the group. New oil and gas drilling is a death sentence to humanity. Accusing those searching for oil and gas to have blood on their hands for the death of humanity. They also called for immediate measures against climate breakdown. I'm going through this because I'm trying to figure out at exactly what point does these two things relate. So when I hear of vandalism at a museum, which is what it is, I don't go, never thought about that. Oil and gas drilling, I'll be damned. You know what? They triggered my triggered my action. I am now going to be an activist for get out of here. Nobody does that. And if you do, I feel bad for you. Your brain hasn't engaged completely. Now, there are reasonable things they're arguing, right? Lowering the quote from them. Lowering the speed limit to 100 kilometers on highways costs nothing to implement. but it saves 460 million tons of CO2 per year in Austria alone, and leads to less noise, better air quality, and safer roads. What are we waiting for? Okay, jackwagon, because I don't want to say jackass. What? What does that have to do with ruining a painting? Explain this to me. Now, if you told me that Gustav Klimt, I can't believe I remembered his first name, okay? Gustav Klimt owns a drilling company, then I would say, oh, I understand it's related. You're still breaking the law. You still are completely 110% wrong, even though that's not possible. You are completely wrong to vandalize someone else's stuff in the name of what you feel is right. Go live in the woods. What is wrong with me? Or what is wrong with you? Which one is it? I don't get it. I don't understand how we can say, because I don't like what I'm seeing, oh my God, and wait till I get to the next little 9-second story coming up. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even entertaining it. But what changes? What awareness is brought about you? Why don't you have a press conference? Why don't you go stand in protest in front of a government building that has something to do with laws that help you get to where you want to be? Oh, because that doesn't work. Neither does violence, neither does vandalism. That's not how anything's ever worked. Go back in time and look at history and look at where we're at now. I'm telling you, you can disagree and that's fine, because I'm not always right, but I always have my opinion. And violence begets violence. It doesn't solve a problem. You may get an immediate reward for it, but it's not going to solve the problem. But we have become so ignorant, we have become so lackadaisical to educate ourselves beyond academics that we can't figure out all of this stuff, never changed, and in reality, a lot of it doesn't matter. Why am I not up in arms about abortion? Because I'm not having one. Duh. I know women have the right to choose. I agree with that completely. But I'm not spun up about it. Why? Doesn't affect me. You go cast your vote, you do Pontius Pilate. Once you cast your vote, you have to wipe your hands of it. How many things do you want to carry around with you constantly? You know what I mean? How many things do you need burdening you down from your good life? Oh, because there's plenty. Please, somebody chime in and tell me. You can do it on 9397 Network's free app. You download it on any of your places you get your apps. 9397network.com. 888-456-2157 is our phone number. 888-456-2157, extension 3. Hit us up on social media, 9397 Network, any social media, including YouTube, Sapphire Pates, Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, plenty of ways to chime in. I need someone to explain to me how putting paint on a picture brings awareness to oil and gas drilling being a death sentence to humanity when we all consume both. So what are you doing, jackass? I mean, excuse my French, jackwagon, dipstick. I don't get it. And I don't think you can explain it to me, but I would love somebody to try. You know, it's the same people that think when they don't get their way in the voting booth, they can go tear down the city. And I'm talking to everybody, both sides. You're wrong for January 6th. You're wrong for any other thing you did in Wisconsin when they tore up the Capitol in Wisconsin. The Democrats didn't have such a problem with that. It's bipartisan ass chewing going on here. Okay, that's the way I do it. So we sit here and we're going, now I'm going to splash paint all over something to bring awareness to something. It doesn't relate. I don't get it. And it's been going on. This is just one of several that have been going on in the world. It's like the red paint for the blood from PETA and stuff they used to do. No, you can't continue to think this way, that it's okay to go do things like this because you didn't get your way and you want to bring awareness. It brought awareness to your ignorance. And the dum-dum who gets the Dingbat of the Year award, loser of the year, you took it away from a lot of people. Kanye was running way up top, but you had no plan, man. I want the name of the guy who glued himself to the glass to protect the painting. So either the dum-dums were both stupid together, which they were. I have no problem saying that. I don't care what. They're dumb. If the painting was protected by glass, then the one dum-dum put black paint all over the glass, while the other one glued himself to it so that he could not escape. I just hope that drugs were involved in this, because I can't imagine being that dumb. I'm not even sure how to put it else. I don't know how else to say it. I can't believe it. Please help me out. I have no idea. 9-year-old boy was among 2 people stabbed in an unprovoked attack at Target in Los Angeles. The good part of the story is the suspect was shot and killed by security. And you'll hear applause over the air. It's not because it's trying to be crude and rude. Unprovoked, 2 people stabbed, including a 9-year-old boy. Unprovoked, they're calling it a heinous act. A 40-year-old man walks up around 6:40 p.m., confronts a 9-year-old boy in the store, telling him repeatedly, "I'm going to stab you and kill you." The boy tried to get away, but the suspect, with no further provocation, stabbed him in the back. A 9 to 10-inch kitchen knife that he took from the store. Look at this, because I was going to say, now we're going to have metal detectors at every entrance, and I'm not opposed to that. But wouldn't matter. He took it from in the store. So now you got to lock up your cutlery. Now you got to lock up your knives. The suspect then moved down the aisle and stabbed a 25-year-old woman in the chest. This is at a store. I won't repeat the name because I'm not going to put them on blast. They can't control that. They reacted 100% perfectly. And if anybody gives any crap to the security guard for shooting this person, you're also an idiot. I'm tired. Wait, if you tell me he's having a mental episode, I can sympathize with the mental episode. I cannot sympathize with putting innocent people's lives in danger because you're having a mental episode. Forget that part right now. This was just a butthole. After he stabbed the 25-year-old woman in the chest, so 9-year-old boy in the back, 25-year-old woman in the chest, then goes to the front of the store, confronts the armed security guard who shoots him in the stomach. Dead in a hospital. Oh. The boy suffered deep cuts to his left shoulder, critical but stable. Thank goodness. Hopefully he has a story to tell. 9-year-old boy, don't even know what's going on. You know what you did to that kid? You can put him in, save the kid's life. He's healthy. He's going to live normal, hopefully. This person took away the innocence of the world from this kid. You destroyed this kid's psyche. Way to go. So the little 9-year-old now going, wow, I don't trust anybody anymore. I'm never going shopping. You think you're going to go? No. A third person was trampled while exiting the store, but only suffered facial bruising and superficial wounds compared to 9 10-inch knife going in your back or chest. You know how mad I would be? I don't know if I'd be able to contain my anger. I think if you stabbed me in the back, not proverbially, I mean, if you sunk a 9-inch blade in my back, I'm looking and I go, okay, I'm probably dead now. So guess what? It's on. And I'm not going to be, oh no. Oh, I'm probably going to be pissed. But a 9-year-old boy? I don't get it. Unprovoked. That hits the core of everything. It's not acceptable. It's not explainable. Mental episode. This is why we got to contain this stuff. Detroit, another shooting that people are mad about. I don't understand. You've got to help me through this, people, because I don't get all this. Here, Detroit, a 911 phone call comes in. Help me through this, please. Please help me. Had to have a sip of coffee. Excuse my rudeness. A 911 call comes in. The dispatcher gets the call. My daughter is going on a rampage. I may have to shoot and kill her. That's what the tape said. That's what the mother said about her daughter. Had a knife, had a gun, had already hurt somebody, and she thought she had to kill her own daughter. That was the 911 call. Police responded. 45 minutes later, the woman is dead in her home. The police arrived to a phone call, 911, that it says we are in a situation inside this home where she's already injured somebody. She has a knife, a gun. I may have to kill her. The police show up and 45 minutes later engage her in the house when she opened the door. They saw the gun. They go in. She's fighting for the gun. They shoot her. Now they're suspended. The police chief doesn't like with how fast they acted. Completely different situation, but Uvalde, Texas. The police are under severe scrutiny for not acting fast enough when they knew there was danger present. What are police supposed to do? Don't call me. Handle it yourself. Is that what they're supposed to do? This is not the 2 weeks ago, the 19-year-old young man in Detroit shot by police when the parents called and said he was having a mental episode. He has a knife. They're talking to him. They're saying he's not in any trouble. He will not listen. I don't know how far away he was from them when they shot him, but they're under scrutiny for shooting him. He had a knife. There was a 911 call. What are the police supposed to do? They can't just wrap it up and go home. Call me when he stabs you. So what are they supposed to do? You have an unprovoked attack in Target where a guy stabs a 9-year-old. I can't blame the police for that. You can't blame anyone for that other than the butthole that did it. But that's where we're at as a society. Too bad in one respect that the guy's dead, but I'm sure the motive will be somewhere on his internet and in his bedroom. There's probably a 40-year-old man who went into Target and stabbed a 9-year-old boy. More than likely in mom and dad's house, you'll find 40-year-old man's diary and trail of whatever the hell leads you to that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. In a bad way. I don't even like talking about those stories, but I need people to help me because I'm always trying to help and I need help. I need to understand how these things are happening. Why in the world do we relate destroying things with getting our point across. Once you start destroying things, I don't even care about your cause anymore. That's not the point now. To me, it's the vandalism. Let's get past that first. When you get out of jail for breaking the law, then we can talk about your cause. Because I might agree with you, but I'll never agree with you. Hey, let's go tear it down. No. And if you agree, if you think that's the way it should be, that's all good and fine. But guess what? It ain't. It never worked. It never will. But guess what? You want to learn the hard way of repeating over and over again what we continue to do. The proof is in the pudding. And now we are about to have another catastrophe of an election season. It's not even election year anymore. It's an election season. It started last night at around 9 p.m. Eastern time when Donald Trump announced his run for the 2024 presidency. You know, I'm not mad at the guy. It's been convoluted, and I'm over him. I didn't like him as president to begin with, but I didn't dislike him. He did a lot of good things policy-wise, but we don't want to hear that. We only care about one or two items, the ones that are closest to us, and that's it. And if anybody disagrees, we tear them to shreds in every way possible. That's your problem, not mine. I don't understand now, and this is just me thinking. This isn't provoking any type of response, or I don't care what you think about it. Not important to me at all. But I don't understand at this point how we could think that is our best foot forward as a country. It just tells me more of what I said the other day. It's a competition. It's become competitive. My side has to win. I don't even care if it's right for this thing that we're supposed to be uniting, the United States, and we're divided, and it's okay in ways. We're never going to be completely united. The uniting comes from understanding that democracy means different points of view, and the majority, based on the system it is, the electoral college and all that, the way the system is designed is the way we want those elected people to win. We've gotten away from that. So now I just wonder to myself, and you need to wonder to yourself, what is it? You don't have to answer. You can if you want to, but you don't have to answer. It's a rhetorical question, I guess. What is it that will make you vote for Donald Trump? Is it his policies? Is it because you have to win? Because you voted for him before and you just hate to see what's going on in this country the way it is? If that's the case, then why is he the best one? That's my question. Question me, question anybody. Is Joe Biden the best answer for the Democratic side? I'll let you decide. We need to think that through. We need to internalize our politics a little bit more due to the fact that people go ham when they don't get their way. And they've always got these moral higher grounds of why, right? The LGBT community can say, well, we don't vote Republican because they don't give a crap about us. I got news for you, Mary. None of them care about you. They're buying your vote. They don't care. Not that they hate you, but I got news more for you. The Republicans don't all hate you either. They just don't want policies put in place, which leads me to this. We're going to break in a minute. I wasn't planning on talking about it, but it made national news yesterday. I live in Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn, Michigan made national news for the LGBT and controversial books in the libraries of public schools. We've talked about this already. This isn't new to us, but there's new things coming in about it. And I think what we need to do is we need to take some time later to figure out exactly what's in the books. And would you let your child, forget the public library, forget your sexuality, forget your gender identity, would you let your kids read this book? That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to objectively look and say, I would not let that one into school. I would let this one into school. I would not let this one into school. I would let this one into school. What's so hard about that? Why do we make it such a big issue? Are we that lost? I don't even want to call us names anymore. Are we just that lost? Are we that far away from normal? Whatever normal is. Oh, well, we'll see. We're going to look into it because I got to know. I got to know a lot of these things. Inquiring minds want to know. You remember that back in the day? We're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We'll be right back.
Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, only in the morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Sapphire here. Be sure to download the free 93.
All right. What do you know? Talking smack. All right. Let's see. 7:31. I went to break on time today. Whoop, whoop. Actually, I guess 7:25 would be officially, but I don't do anything officially. I don't have to. I could if I had to. It's not just a saying. I run a tight shipwreck. I do. One of the things we're talking about today is concert ticket prices. My God, I don't understand. Another thing I need help with. People, I'm a ship sailing without oars today, or without a sail. That's it. Whatever. You know what I mean? I gotta share this so people know that we're live on the air. We are live until 10 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, yesterday or the other day, I do a video, do the reel in the morning saying what we're talking about and everything, and I go, what was it about? I forget now, but I said, chime in, let me know your thoughts about it. And some lady I never knew, I don't know who she is, she says, how about I chime in and say you don't even know what sex you are? And I felt like saying, bitch, you don't even know what sex I am. You don't know what I'm packing down there. You don't know just because my voice is deep. Maybe I had an accident. Oh, I'm an accident, all right. But I was just, and I don't respond to those things. I just get a kick out of people so compelled to be like pointing that out. Like, thank you. Thought I had you fooled there for a minute. What the So it was funny because, and you see people that they're going to listen to me and look at me and go, what the actual fuck? But that's for them. I don't know. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Get upset about it? Like, yeah, I know, whatever, just deal with it. Chime in with what gender you are. People are so worried about that. It's so funny. I mean, I don't care, man. I see somebody dressed crazy. I know that they don't want to be laughed at. So why laugh? I mean, I just don't get it. See, I got all the comments now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy hump day. I'm a human. What gender are you? Human. I identify as an elephant. Good morning, everybody. I don't get to see all your messages until I get on my phone. Now I got a message. It's probably that carpetbagger. Oh, I said it. It's my message. What do you call it? The sandbagger? That's it. What do you call them when they not sandbagger? Not carpetbagger. What do you call it when they a carpet picker? Cherry picker. That's it. The one trying to cherry pick people with this 69 online shit, whatever. Hopefully he's gone. I hurt my wrist. I'm getting old. That's okay. This is my left one. Still good, but I'm right-handed. So like sometimes if I squeeze it, it hurts. And I don't mean hurts like obviously when I squeeze it, it hurts inside. When I turn it, sometimes it hurts. I don't know. People say carpal tunnel, but feels different than that. But I don't know what carpal tunnel feels like. So what do I know? I don't even know if you can hear me. I'm just mumbling. I got something in my eye this morning. It's bugging the hell out of me. Oh, what's today? Wednesday. Wednesday. What am I doing today? I wonder. Actually, I do wonder. I might just sit my fat ass at home. I don't know. Go home. I've been trying to play my Xbox a little bit. I am so bad at those war games. I know. I mean, you get on there, and I got to play the single player game because if I'm playing where everybody's playing, I go. I don't even like. I land on the ground, I run somewhere, and I get murdered, and I don't even know where it came from until I see the person running away. I can't even try to get away from them, so I have no idea. And other people get on the game and they just know how to play it. So I try to do fishing. I play some football, but I'm bad at that, so I get mad. It's hard to sit there and play an hour-long game when you know you're going to lose. But I call it fun, even though when I get done, I'm mad. Isn't that weird? It's like golfing. It's a good walk spoiled. Mark Twain said it. Golf is a good walk spoiled. Golf, it's the old cliche. You go play 18 holes around a golf, 4 hours out of your day. You're mad the whole time. You throw clubs. You're mad. You want to throw all the clubs in the lake. And when you get done, the first thing out of your mouth is, when's the next tee time? It's ingrained in us. We love the misery, but it's the competition. And golf is self-competition. And that is where the fun starts, when you're in competition with yourself. Oh, excuse me, a coffee burp. Whoop, whoop. Oh, I got a story here. It says, does this taste like urine to you? That'll be an interesting story. Another story of degeneration of mankind. Does this taste like urine to you? Is the headline. Jesus. Okay, let's change the banner. It's boring. Download the free app today. If not, I don't know what's wrong with you. The Grammy nominees are in. I mean, it's a big deal, but I'm old now, so I don't care. Concert ticket prices. We'll talk about it. We got Regulators playing right now. Then we got Snoop Dogg doing the next episode with What's My Name, and then Notorious B.I.G. We come back at 7:51. Actually pretty early in the day for us. I'm usually not on break until 7:30, right about now. My friend Jennifer posted on her Facebook. I'm scrolling through Facebook while I'm on break here. Just a PSA, guys, public service announcement from the ladies. Never have I seen a gorgeous fella on social media and immediately private messaged him an unsolicited pic of my flaps. Guys be like, oh, thank you. Jesse Ballard checking in. This is the network. We Outside is the other one of our shows. My show is the Good Time Show. Oh, Jed's Derek replying to Jesse. Okay, so I have the app, but I don't know how to make a profile. Help. Oh, Derek will help you with that. He's our assistant show director here. He knows exactly how to get into that. All right. Well, thanks for chiming in, Jesse. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We're on break right now. That's why you see me looking at my phone and just kind of aimlessly talking, like I'm sitting at the bar. People just tune me out. They even told me that. They go, "Yeah, we love you, Sapphire, but when you get going talking at the bar, we just tune you right out, and all we hear is like the Peanuts teacher talking. Wah 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 wah." That's kind of what we're doing now. But if you're listening on the app, you can hear the music playing. If you're on the broadcast, you can hear me talking. So if you're on the broadcast or on the app listening, you're hearing the next episode from Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, and Nate Dogg. All personal friends of not mine. Whatever's on my. That looks good. Is that waffles with ice cream? Woo. If you smoke enough weed, ice cream goes with anything, mom and dad. What's it looking like outside? Oh my God. It's snowing out there. What a surprise. November 16th, in the middle of the month of November, it's snowing. Please post it on your social media. Please make sure you post it. We need It Snowed stickers. Everybody can stick them on there and post it on Facebook. It snowed and I walked outside in it. Good for you. As soon as it's over 70, it's so freaking hot. As soon as it's under 60, oh my God, it's cold. Shut up. Everybody loves to be, and I understand though, because like when someone passes away, a celebrity passes away, and obviously we never met them, but we feel connected to them. And I don't know why I'm talking to the microphone on break, but we get connected to them and we feel the need to lash out, or not lash out, but to speak out. And it helps. It's a little healing process because celebrities are so important to us, it seems. And it's like, how, see, that leads back into the concert ticket prices and stuff like that. And what I told you about a month or so ago, a guy that I know says, I paid $1,250 for VIP to, I forget, it was like My Chemical Romance or something like that, but it was one of those bands that he just loves. And I'm like, $1,250 to go to the concert, meet the band, and he gets to get on stage and he's going to be handing the guitar player one of the guitars. It wasn't My Chemical Romance. I forget who it is. But I just can't imagine. And this is not a rich man. This is not a wealthy man with millions of dollars going, I got money to blow. I don't care. This is somebody who works for a living. Not that millionaires don't, but you understand my point. It's not about that. The point is, it's somebody who $1,250 is a shitload of money, right? A boatload of money. So it's like a month bring home pay or something like that almost for some people. And you just go, but is it worth it? It's the memory. It's the memory you're paying for, that you actually got that. It's the adrenaline, the excitement beforehand, knowing you're going. And you get to meet your favorite band and stuff like that. And it's usually bittersweet. It's usually nice and everything, but you wish that you could just like go meet them at dinner and be able to sit and talk to them like a regular person. And of course, one of the biggest questions would be, if you met your favorite star, what's it like to be? They go poop, man. They got to buy a Charmin. They buy expensive toilet paper. They blow their nose in the most expensive Kleenex there is on the shelf. They might do it at a gold toilet, but it still smells. And people would pay for a jar of the smell of their favorite celebrities' farts. We already know it. It happens. People fart in a jar. It's a mason jar. Close it up. Mail it off. The guy gets it. He's in his wife's panties. Pulls it out. Oh, I'm not kidding. It happens. It ain't my fault. But yet, Hooters is offensive. But yeah, it was a good conversation we had, though, the other day about Hooters. And a lot of people were like, I don't have a problem with it, but it ain't for me. Like the same girl, Jen, who our friend who I just talked about posted that thing I read. She was the same way. She was like, not for my kids, but there's much worse going on, much worse things they could be doing. But the kid, you would think, I mean, you almost have to think that the kid is living vicariously through dad a little bit at that point because they know that's dad's favorite thing and they're trying to make dad proud. So they go, let's go to Hooters. Dad goes, yeah, that's my boy, you know. But yeah, even though it's not a big deal, I don't care. If I see a kid at Hooters, which I've only been there a couple times, and it's cool. I wouldn't not go. I don't feel like it's a sexually provocative place. I think we stigmatize it that way in society more than it actually is. But that's for us to decide individually. Most people said, yeah, it's not for me, but I don't care. Other people were like, yeah, well, great parenting skills. It what you like. But it was a great conversation, and it was the most important thing was it remained respectful. People didn't get mad. Like you don't owe a rebuttal to everything, right?
Doggy dog.
This is Marcus Divine. And make sure you check out my show
no.
every Saturday at 5 p.m. only on Hot 93.
Oh. I love it when you call me Big Mama. Yeah, but it was a good conversation that we had about that. And everybody has their opinions, and it's so important to understand that. And I mean, I'm sitting here looking at CNN right now. After everything has been said and done, after all of the things from both sides of the political aisle, the Senate is split 50 to 49, I think, with one seat left. The House, the Republicans, 217, the Democrats with 207, and I think 218 is the majority, which they believe the Republicans are going to get. So the Republicans are going to have the House, the Democrats are going to have the Senate. It might be split 50-50 completely. We just voted this in. It's heavily split down the middle. That tells us where we are at. It's the issues we need to address, not who's running. But I know it's going to happen already. We're 2 minutes and 45 seconds away from going back. I know it's going to happen already. It's going to become, first of all, I'm not surprised Donald Trump's running. Is he running? I didn't hear it. I didn't bother. We were watching something else. Actually, we were watching something about John Gotti last night. But I go, the country's split politically down the middle with these big issues. And I firmly believe that the Republicans hurt themselves in this midterm with the abortion banter back and forth between the two. And it was a political side chosen. And let's face it, America overwhelmingly believes that abortion needs to be a medical procedure made available to women. You can't question that. You can question it. You got to teach your kids in the way you want them to go. If you don't want abortion a part of their thought process unless it's necessary, then I suggest you train that child up in the way they will go that way. Now, it doesn't mean it's foolproof, but it's all you can do. But just to get rid of abortion completely is careless. It's not an American thing to do. In the eyes of God, hey, that's beautiful. Good for you. But what do we have? Church and state are separate. We cannot make laws based on that. So it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's part of being an American. We don't get what we want. I promise you this. You wear a MAGA hat, you were a Trump supporter, you got the Trump flag out, I ain't mad at you. You have your right to do that. Maybe you want Biden's old ass back in there. I'm not mad at you. You have that right. Maybe you're more like me and you say, can we have two people that we know nothing about in there? Which is better than, if we got to go through a Donald Trump and a Joe Biden election, I'm not voting. Call me what you want. I'm not voting. Because I'm not voting for an independent. Because it ain't going to matter. So y'all can figure it out. Because that's not my election. Don't get an erection because I won't participate in your election. You like that? Okay, here we go. Welcome back indeed on a Wednesday morning. It doesn't feel like Wednesday. I almost said Monday. It feels like Monday because my Mondays are like Fridays. No, it's not because I'm always drunk and I don't know what day it is. It's because I love every day the same. Pretty much. It's not a perfect world. But man, do I love being alive. I do. I was thinking about it on my way today and I go, I'm 54 years old. My uncle passed away in mid-80s, mid-80s about. Grew up with him. I mean, he lived with us for a while. I knew him. God bless him. You know, he joined my dad, his other brother Bill, my grandpa, my grandma, my sister, my uncles, my aunts, my everybody. Tick-tock. Life is short. And I love my life. So I'm driving today thinking, I don't want to go yet. Man, so I got to eat right. I got to live right. But I also got to think right. You can force yourself into illness. And I ain't about that. Not me. I'm here to have fun. Period. And to do no harm. If I can't help you, please rest assured I don't want to hurt you. So if you don't live your life the way I see it should be, I won't tread on you. Oh, what a concept. You're welcome. It's really that easy. Yeah. Well, we was kicking it on the live stream broadcast. We're not only on 9397 Network's free app that you can get at any of your, wherever you buy your apps or get your free apps from. TuneIn Radio, we're on that, 9397 Network, 9397network.com. All of our social media outlets we're live streaming on, including 9397 Network's YouTube page. So there's plenty of ways to get a hold of us and chime in the conversation. I got a kick out of the lady the other day who chimed in to inform me that I had no idea what my sex is. And I wanted to thank her very much, but I don't respond to any, not negative, because you're allowed to feel and say what you want. I encourage all comments, but I won't respond to negative ones because I'm not going to banter with you because I don't feel I need to. I'm not mad at you because you feel that way. And you didn't, if you don't, you're allowed to express your point of view. Other people might want to jump on that wagon and go, what about it, girl? Blah, blah. I don't care, whatever. Yeah, shocker. Not everybody's like you. Woo, isn't that crazy? What a concept. So we talked a little bit about Donald Trump running for the 2024 election and everything like that. When we left, we were talking about this because of one reason only. We were just talking about it on the live stream before we went back on the air. This country, I won't even say it's divided politically, it's split down the middle. Let's change the phrasing. Let's change these verbiages when we're talking about this stuff, right? First of all, they're not our leaders. They're our representatives. We are the leaders. And we vote people in that express and they go and they represent our points of view. They don't lead us at all. They are completely submissive to our leadership. We're going to get that straight first. So there are representatives, not our leaders. And it's not a political divide. It's differences. It's not a division. It's split the way it's supposed to be. We have to start thinking that way. Well, here we go. We're going to have a big old crazy 2024 election now. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. And I hope the Democratic side can see a new vision, because the Republicans did not, if that's where Trump is running. I don't even know. I didn't watch it. Don't need to. I already know how everyone feels. Both sides has made it very clear how they feel about it. I'm disappointed, not surprised. We will not move forward under the way we're doing things. And that is arguing, spinning our wheels. Celebrity Soup. Perfect timing. The Grammy nominees are out for 2023. Beyonce and Jay-Z, they are leading the nominations with 9 this year, right? Now, between the two of them, 88 nominations. Beyonce and her husband Jay-Z, the most nominated artists in Grammy history, with 88 apiece. Jay-Z's got a new album out? I don't know. I don't follow it. 9 nominations. He got 9. She got 9. Is it for the same thing? Do they do everything together? So the Grammys are February 5th at the Crypto.com Center in Los Angeles. Wasn't it the Staples Center before Crypto.com bought it? The Crypto.com Center. That doesn't ring a bell. It doesn't sound right off the tongue. We are live for the Los Angeles Lakers at Crypto.com Center. But it's the money, right? I used to like it back in the day, being from Detroit. The Detroit Tigers played at Tiger Stadium. Before Tiger Stadium was known as Briggs Field, right? But that was named after somebody, probably the guy who put the field in. Then it was Tiger Stadium. Why? Because the Tigers played there. So why wouldn't it be, if you're in Atlanta, Braves Field? Braves Stadium don't roll off the tongue, but Braves Field does. Not one word, not Braveheart, Braves Field. If Beyonce can win at least 4 of her 9 nominations that she's in contention for, album, record, and song of the year, 3 of the categories, she will surpass classical conductor George Solti for the most Grammy wins ever. That's impressive work. But let's also understand something. It's impressive work for an artist. They do this for a living, right? So this is an employment for them. This is a Black woman in America kicking ass and taking names on the airwaves and on record charts all over the world. I think that's a good thing. We don't look at it like that, though, because we don't look at it like they have a job, right? It's like, well, it's a job, but, well, they earn it. Whether it's, I think rock and roll might have it the easiest when it comes to the entertaining part of what they do. Because if you're in a rock and roll band, you get up on stage, you move around a little bit, you jam out with the lights down so nobody knows what you really look like. And you play your music that you wrote. And there's not a lot of difficulty there. You wrote it. And I'm not discounting it. You've got to be on top. You've got to practice. I know I'm a musician. But when it comes to, that's all I got to do. Now, you may have to remember, don't stand where they're going to have these big explosions. Metallica, James Hetfield from Metallica in the 90s found out the hard way and was standing right next to what was the 1200-degree flash pod that went off and burned his arm, and they had to stop the show. It happens. So you got to know what you're doing. But in the realm of things, when you're doing a show where, like with Beyonce, where they got the backstage, they got the dancers, they've got all the choreography going on, they're dancing, they're singing. There's more to it. It's a lot. So we look at it like, well, yeah, it's a big deal. But it leads us into our topic. Are we getting what we pay for when we're going to these concert tickets or concerts? Because what led me to this is Taylor Swift starts they start selling tickets for her concerts coming up, and they crashed the website. They crashed the internet. Like, it's done, wrapped it up and went home. So everybody's freaking out trying to get tickets. We know somebody, my partner knows somebody who was one of the ones freaking out because she couldn't get through, paid $200 a ticket. And I know some of you might go, that's nothing. She's sitting in the nosebleed seats. And I go, that leads me to my topic. Not only is it concert ticket prices, but what we're willing to pay dictates the price, right? I mean, if you walk in the store and you see the milk in there and nobody's bought any, what happens? Time's ticking. There's an expiration date, right? Same thing with the rock band or Taylor Swift. There's an expiration date to those ticket sales. Once the concert's done, the ticket's useless. Here, you have it. I went to see it. Therefore, you got to strike while the iron's hot, as they say. Another cliche, right? What are we paying for, though? You get to go see them. That's cool. A lot of times you're sitting where you're actually watching it on a screen. How cool is that? Not quite as cool, but you're there, right? You're in there. You're in the nosebleed seats, but you can still see, but you're there, right? And let's face it, the stoners love it up there because the smoke rises. Free buzz, right, guys? Whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. $200 for one ticket to go see a star. That's not necessarily out of hand, I guess. But what about like for Elton John's farewell tour? I'd be a little pissed if I paid $1,200 for a Elton John farewell tour ticket and he went back on the road again next year. I'd be like, no, you're not. I'm suing. I'm suing. Period. Not for my money back. For you to not lie. So I'm suing that you can't go back on tour. That way it was a farewell tour. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. We're going to reminisce a little bit too during the show. We're going to be talking about old days of concert prices and why they're so expensive now. Why in the world could I pay $10 to go to Pine Knob and sit on the lawn? And everybody, Pine Knob is a Detroit area venue that many big bands come to. And there's a lawn area, and then there's the seating area they call the pavilion. And the lawn tickets are basically you go sit on the lawn. And the pavilion tickets are you got a seat, like a theater, or fold up, like if you're at a ball game. People would pay $10 to go see a band. When we were younger, we didn't even know who we were going to see. We would just go there and see a band. Like it was $10. Go see a band, right? It's different now. It's an investment. But what are you getting, right? Like I said, if it's rock and roll, look at Kiss. Look at that light show. We demand more than just them standing there on stage playing their music. They know that, like Pink Floyd, over the top theatrical stuff. Beyonce, Lady Gaga, they have the dancers along with other things going on the stage, lighting and stuff. It's a humongous undertaking. It costs tons of money to get them around the country and the world, right? So But don't feel too bad for them. They still make a hell of a lot of money off of every show they do. But that's now why you can justify the increase in prices. But can you justify a $200 ticket for a seat to see a human being? Everybody's different. It's got to be the memory you're paying for, right? It's not just that you saw the band. It's that you got to meet them. It's that or maybe it's like, I've always wanted to see Elton John and it's his farewell tour, and I don't care. It's a one-time deal. I'll pay it. I put it on my credit card. I'll pay it off over the next 60 years and be done with that. If that's the investment you want to make, you're not wrong. Other people will go to the bar and drink it away and pee half of it out before they get home. But we go, yeah, but I had fun. I went and saw my buddies and I went and did this and that. And it's our investment that we make into ourselves. What do we do when we want to spend our time? When you go to work, most people do it sober. But not everybody. And there's no Baileys in my coffee ever, just so you know. I like to joke about that, but I do not day drink. Correction, I do not morning drink. But I get up early, so what's day drinking to me would be it's 5 o'clock somewhere to you. Just remember that. Yeah, so the nominations for the 2023 Grammys are in, and like always, I don't know half of the people, but that's normal. I don't feel bad. It's typical. Back in the day, I knew them all. Right? Whether I was into the music or not, I was just in it. I just knew. Now, not so much, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not trying to force it. I just don't, that's not my thing. I don't force it. It's normal progression. But it's cute that we go back, and I'm sitting here talking about all the brand new people. We don't even know who it is, right? ABBA, they're in there. I don't know how you pronounce it. I say ABBA. I've heard others say ABBA. ABBA is a band from, 50 years ago? 60 years ago? And they're in there for Record of the Year. Beyonce, Adele, Mary J. Blige, Brandi Carlile. Let's go back in time for there. Brandi Carlile was singer for the Go-Go's. Right? Yeah, Go-Go's. Doja Cat, Record of the Year nominee. Steve Lacy, don't even know who he is. Kendrick Lamar. Lizzo, we all have heard of Lizzo by now. And Harry Styles. So you've got newbies and you've got seasoned, and then you've got decades old. ABBA, Album of the Year, Voyage, nomination. So they've got at least 2 nominations. Brandi Carlile, Coldplay, another Kendrick Lamar, another Lizzo. Right? But there's a lot more that I've not heard of. But it's cool. And February 5th, isn't that the Super Bowl? They couldn't air it on the Super Bowl, could they? That must mean the Super Bowl's later this year because of the extra game being played. And let me remind everybody that the Detroit Lions are indeed on a 2-game win streak. Because usually you don't hear much applause. What you usually hear from a Detroit Lions fan is you don't hear it on the live stream broadcast because you're lame. Boo-hoo. That's as far as we're going with the Grammy talk because, I don't know. We'll talk more about it in February maybe. How's that sound? Where are we at? We are at 8:10. Oh, we got a few minutes, I feel like. I feel like we do have a few minutes left. So we're going to take those few minutes. Oh, my goodness. It is mid-November already. I can't believe it. I remember going to a concert. It was, oh my God, 1984. It was the American Rock Festival in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I can't imagine tickets were more than maybe $20, $25. And there were 7 major bands there. Rat, Accept, Motley Crue, Rat, Accept, Motley Crue, Triumph, Night Ranger. Oh, there was 2 more. They were big bands. It was a huge deal. And it was my first concert I ever went to. We barely paid anything. It was an outdoor event. There was really just normal lighting of the, purple, the red, green, blue lights and stuff like that. Nothing extravagant. Sound system. And then the bands played. They might have their banner or whatever behind them, but it was not an over-the-top extravaganza like you see when you go to some of these shows now. Not much to put it on, but getting everybody out there and then having the setup, but the setup didn't change for every band and stuff like that. They just moved their drums out and whatever, so minimal cost. Today, we'll pay hundreds, maybe $1,000 or more dollars, even for the Super Bowl or a big game tickets. Concerts more than anything, though. And we somehow just don't have a problem with that. Me, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine paying $200 to go deal with the crowd. And here comes the bad part of it all. Parking. Forget the $20 to park. Parking. You can't park until you do what? You get there. 30,000 other people are getting there too. So you arrive at around the same time as 10,000 others of the 30,000 down one-way streets in an inner city where nobody ever goes to except for when the biggest bands come to town. So nobody knows where they're going. Nobody cares where they're going, and everybody wants to get there now. That's just a part of it. You haven't even parked yet. Now you park. You're already irritated. You start having a couple of adult beverages. Now you gotta pee. Good luck with that one. You're tailgating. You're walking down the streets of the city. Everything's packed around you because 30,000 people are down there to do what? Pre-game. Drink, get something to eat, get there a little early so to beat the crowd. Well, 10,000 people thought that of the 30. So 10,000 got there early. 10,000 got there when you got there. And another 10,000 trickle in at the end. And they don't trickle. They bash themselves in and then try to get there. And they usually do. Now you got to get from the car you just left, you parked there. God forbid if the weather's bad. Then you make the trot in. Packed. Full of people. Everyone's excited. It's loud. Bumping arm to arm. No social distancing going on. I don't see people wearing their vaccine placards on their chest so I know they're vaccinated. Oh, I'm stressed. Not me, because I could care less, right? But these are all things we're doing. We paid hundreds, maybe $1,000 or more dollars for this experience so far. Sounds like screw that, doesn't it? Now I sit in my seat, and I'm sitting there next to 2 people that we got, of course, 2 guys that work out all the time, and they're bigger than hell. And you're squeezed in there. And you go, great. They're also dancers, and they love the music. So they're knocking all your stuff around. You thought you were going to drink a beer, but you wore it instead. That was $16. You see where I'm going with that? Like, I'm just going to go buy the video when you're all said and done and watch it at home. you're paying for the experience. And to me, the experience would suck. You see how I look at things? I just couldn't handle it. But others, it's worth the price of admission. Others love that stuff, being in the mix and everything. Out in the summer, we have a local, all the cities have local festivals when big bands come to town and all that. Oh, packed full of people. You don't even have anywhere to eat. You stand there with your drink and your food, and you go, oh crap, I got nowhere to eat. And everybody's bumping into you. And you go, can you hold my drink so I can get a bite? And then I'm too old for this. Let me sit at home and sip my coffee until adult time. Coffee turns into screwdrivers or who knows what else. I had the pleasure of playing pool and darts the other day on Monday, and I had beer. It was delicious. 8:15. It's 8:16 Eastern Time. We are going to break. We're staying right on time today. I can't believe it. We are going to break. You listen to the Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on WHOT Hot 93.97. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Download it today. 93.97 network, man. Take us everywhere you go. Take us to work, in your car, home, gym, you name it. You can request songs, send me direct messages, follow all my social outlets, and stay up to date with the show.
One,
Search
2,
93.97 network in your app
3,
store today.
4. Oh, got to turn that down. Don't want to get arrested by the FCC. All right. Going to take a potty break. Be back at 8:38. I'll post it. See you soon.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drink. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the gay bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
Oops. Oh, sorry. Be right back. I'm eating. I know that you're not supposed to eat doing this, but I'm from Taylor. I can't pass up a Twix. Mm. We're listening to Prince. Whoop control. Mm. Is your Twix supposed to chew like bubble gum? Maybe it's too old. I think it's supposed to go down by now. Mm. That was good. Yummy. You know you didn't like what you just ate when you rinse your mouth out with coffee. I don't know. All right, we're back. Well, no, we're not. We got a long time to go. What the hell am I doing? We got 2 more songs. Oh, now you're stuck with me. Oh, well, it'll be all right. Let's get on our phones. Get on your phone and download the app right now. Oh, I'm almost to a free pizza. Domino's. Order today. Not happening. I do like their bare naked wings, though. No sauce on them. Because when you get, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if they get them in bags and they cook them with the sauce on them, or if they cook them and then toss them in the sauce. But it don't taste like that's the way they do it. And I'm craving wings. Maybe I got my future set on Buffalo Wild Wings today. Who am I kidding? I get home and I sit in my pajamas. Maybe, though, see, my problem is this. If I go out at 3 o'clock and I eat, I'm going to definitely have a beer with my dinner. So therefore, I've started drinking too early, and then not enough to get drunk, but you have a beer with your dinner. Then I get tired, and then I don't really feel like doing anything after that. So it's either keep drinking or go home and sit on the couch and do nothing, not even get on the computer and put something together for the show, or I've been working on my, it's not a resume page, but it's a resume page of all my, everything that I've done over the past 4 years, schooling and in the business, doing things, audio, video, and all kinds of different things. And I've been trying to put them all in one spot. So, a showcase, so basically a resume. But it's a video, audio, writing, and everything all in one. That way people can see how awesome I think I am. No, it's just basically a resume thing. Be right back. What I'm not doing is going to grab another Twix bar, okay? Because that stuff didn't, that ain't the way I remember them.
What is up, y'all? You already know who it is. It's your girl, the Princess of All. Make sure you guys stay live to right here on Hot 93.97. You did.
Dance like a white girl like no one's watching. 4 minutes and 20 seconds until this agony is over and you can hear me talk about something else that you don't care about. Let's see if it's still snowing outside. I mean, it's just flurries. It ain't no big deal, but still. Construction going on. When I was going to the Hayloft the other day to play pool, they got more construction going on. They do more construction in that area than I've ever seen in my life. They don't get nothing done. But they're doing the train tracks, the railroad tracks are being redone, and they need to be right there because you literally have to almost stop to get over them train tracks without doing damage. If you've got one of them low fronts to your car, don't go over that thing at 25 miles an hour. In front of your car will be no longer the front of your car. It'll be in behind the car when you drive over it. So they're redoing them, and I see people going around because people that know the area slow down and almost stop and turn to the right a little bit to get around the tracks. And the people that don't know the area go through that thing like they're mad, going, "Oh, come on, get out of the way, Mary!" And they go, "Woo!" And then they white, and then they go, "Oh shit, I better go look because I just tore my car up." And you can't laugh at them because it's Detroit; they'll shoot you from where they sit. I'm sorry, they'll have a mental episode. Don't use it too much and be crying wolf. And then what are you going to do? Well, let's see. What are we going to talk about? Not that. I don't care about that. All you got to do is click on any CNN or Fox News, and it's all about politics. Two minutes. Interesting. Hey, we don't want that. Come on. Bye-bye. I was going to do that story, but now I'm not. One minute, 20 seconds. Woo! I got some soup for you here. Not really. Uh-oh. Not a good time. 1 minute. Oh, not a good time for the computer to go down. But it didn't. It was just screensaver. That's it. Oh, yeah. 30 seconds. There's some waffles and ice cream again on the screen. See it up there? It's waffles with ice cream and bacon. Not really, but that's what it looks like.
You're listening to WHOT Hot 93.97.
Damn right you are. All right, welcome back on a Wednesday. Hot and heavy, deep into it, figuring out why in the hell we pay so much for concert tickets, like the important things in this country, right? Like Taylor Swift. Fans are irate over what happened, right? Well, there's some bad blood brewing between Taylor Swift fans and Ticketmaster. Pre-sales for a handful of dates began Tuesday, right? But guess what? The website Ticketmaster was crashing or freezing up during purchase. So what do? You go to Twitter to complain. Ticketmaster wasn't allowing them to access the tickets despite having a pre-sale code for verified fans. Oh man, you get the code, you're verified. You get a sticker that says I'm verified, you'll know the authentic sticker. They erased the I voted and they put I'm verified, and there's a little flag underneath it. Yeah, that's right. I got a code. I'm logged into the correct account, but it says I'm not verified. What do I do? Find something to spend your money on better than that. But hey, people love Taylor Swift, and I'm not a hater. I like Taylor Swift. I'm not paying any more than $45 to go see anybody. I'm sorry. Ticketmaster said the site was not down. People are buying tickets. You're in line. Guess what? You're in a line of infinite, well, it's not infinite, only amount of people that are online, but historical, unprecedented demand with millions of people showing up to buy tickets. Now, how much are these tickets? Because I know someone who said they got them, and I don't know this to be verified. A friend of ours said that they were $200 a ticket. The U.S. leg of the Eras tour begins March 18th in Glendale, Arizona, and wraps up August 5th in Los Angeles. Taylor Swift made recent history, right? The first artist ever to simultaneously claim all top 10 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 following the release of her album Midnights. So 10 of your songs went top 10. That's amazing. It makes you think it's not all about the music. It's the people love her and they just support what she does and they want all of her music. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not mad. That's a good thing. You've reached the audience. You've reached the people you targeted for, hopefully in the right way. And I think Taylor doesn't have really a bad reputation of controversy. And I don't mean controversy of some things. She's not controversial with her politics. She's not controversial with her. She's not throwing TVs out of hotel room windows like back in the old days people did. That's what made people want to go see them. Now it's a lot different. I mean, it's easier to access everybody. You write a new song, you can put it on Facebook Live, you can put it on all these streaming sites, you can do all these things on your own. Justin Bieber became a star from YouTube, right? I mean, so tons of ways to go about it. I just can't, I can't get past the amount of money that people pay to go see somebody. Not everybody is for sale. Not to say Taylor Swift is for sale, but Rod Stewart turned down $1 million to perform at the World Cup in Qatar. Yeah. It was an offer he turned down, $1 million to perform at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And he said, no, thank you, due to the country's human rights record. Then why are you in America? He's not, but he comes to America. But we are not, our government doesn't have human rights violations. We are not, we violate ourselves, basically, right? He said, quote unquote, he's 77 years old now. Rod Stewart said, quote unquote, it's not right to go. Qatar is a small nation in the Middle East, under scrutiny lately for its treatment of migrant workers and its anti-LGBTQ stance. The government should have no stance on that. That's, to me, the government taking a stance against a people is dangerous. That's what the beauty of America is. Could you imagine being in a country, and we'll flip the script, right? I'm talking to the white people. We'll flip the script. Could you imagine being a white person and due to really no fault of your own, no doing of your own, you end up in an all black country that doesn't recognize you as an equal, and then you've got to go live in that country and expect and hope for equal treatment? Government should have no say in that. Government should be like, no, we treat everybody equal. Unfortunately, that's not how it works in the world, but it does in America. Well, it's supposed to in America. English singer Dua Lipa also denied reports that she would perform in the 2020 World Cup. Only would she go if they improved on their human rights record. The Australian men's soccer team released a video condemning Qatar for its treatment of migrant workers and LGBTQ people. But Jungkook, a worldwide pop star in South Korean group BTS. Okay. Jungkook, I didn't know what their names were, but he's one of the members of BTS. He is slated to perform there. Now, I don't know when it is, but 2022 is almost over. So get with it if it's going to happen. That's the beauty of America. I just can't imagine. But back to the ticket prices. I can't imagine paying it. And I can't imagine. See, this is the thing. We'll give you $1 million just to perform for people who already bought our tickets. It's crazy to me, the amount of money thrown around at our athletes and at our performers and stuff. And I'm not mad at them for getting the money, but when you can turn down $1 million offer to go to perform 8 minutes? What are you performing? You're probably going to be doing in between matches. I don't know how it works. Maybe 90 minutes at the most, $1 million. Songs that you've already sung over and over again. You don't have to go rehearse necessarily, right? Now, there's an orchestra behind him in this file photo, but that doesn't mean that's what he was going to do. It's a lot of money to be made out there for your brand. Oy vey. Well, the things we do, and it's like getting back to the Taylor Swift thing, the fans have a code. They're special, they're elite, right? They're what would they call them? Swifters? I don't know. But you have a little extra, right? You get in line first. Or do you? You're online, it's the internet. Who's in line first? We don't know. But if you have a code, you get in, there should be a certain way you get, right? A little bit extra, maybe the good seating, stuff like that. But then some artists save the front row for people they pick out of the stands, right? They want I forget who it was who said, it might have been Billy Joel. The first 5 rows are all rich people who buy the tickets up and give them away to people and stuff like that to hear, for PR for themselves. They're not even enjoying the show like the big fans are. The ones who will pay $500 for the nosebleed or $200 for a nosebleed seat. Those are the ones you want in the front row, not the ones on their phone like this doing business while you're playing. And then when their favorite song comes on, they go, oh, check it out. And then they video you. No, they want the fans up front, the ones that are going to be fist pumping and cheering and going, oh my God, I can't believe it's insert star here. Taylor Swift, Billy Joel, Elton John, whoever your favorite artist is. But there's a price for everything. And there's, what would you say, a limit to what you will do for money. And it's a different story when you're Rod Stewart or Dua Lipa, who's already got money and already got a long career, and Rod Stewart much longer than Dua Lipa. But you can afford, if you're Rod Stewart, to go, I'll pick and choose. No. You get an up-and-coming artist who's starving, who can barely keep their van running, and they're going from city to city making hopefully enough money to get to the next city to city while your savings account is running thin, and all of a sudden you get $1 million offer. Hard to turn that down on human rights issues that don't pertain to you. So, I mean, that's kudos to Rod Stewart. Kudos to Dua Lipa for doing what they feel is right, but they are in a different position to be able to do that. So that, to me, is the biggest thing, is knowing what it is you want to spend your money on. Because when I look at it, I go, I'm not paying $200 for a ticket, let alone $1,000 or whatever. But now we'll get into the point about what is it we're paying for? Why are ticket prices so much higher now? I was saying earlier, we paid $20, $25 to go see 7 big bands back in 1984. You know, now you hundreds of dollars to go see one artist and whoever they're warming up with, whoever's warming up for them. So just a little bit different. Where are we at? 8:50. All right, we're still doing good with time. The light show, the advertisement, the moving the equipment around, all the people it takes from city to city to put it together, all the things go into the ticket prices. I know that. But is it worth it? And I can't bring myself to it. So pipe up, let me know what you think, because I can't imagine. And everybody's different. It's a once in a lifetime deal for some people, right? You go, I get a chance to see my favorite artist. I got to turn this heater down. That's a good sign when you got to turn the heat down, baby. It's a once in a lifetime deal, but I guess it depends on where you're at with it all. So interesting the way people choose to spend their money and choose to earn their money. As we talk about Rod Stewart and Dua Lipa, no, we're not taking the money because we want to see the world treated better, right? And honestly, when I go out in public, I don't get mistreated. And I knock on wood, thankfully. I'm not trying to jinx it, but the world is not what we see through the eyes of our television, the media, the newspapers, and all those things. People are not that bad. Unless they're behind the wheel of a car, then of course you go, well, maybe if that's the only time I ever met anybody, we wouldn't be friends, because people drive like maniacs. Let's see. Got to make sure everything's rolling good. It's quiet in the studio today, so making sure we're rolling. When you see like Lady Gaga or Beyonce and all that, they're bigger than life people, right? You don't even realize they're real people because you only see them on TV and you only see them, and we put them up on these big pedestals. And then when you get a chance to meet them, you go, oh my God. And you're paying all this money to meet them, and you're going to stand in line with a bunch of other people who paid money to meet them. It kind of lessens the impact for me, right? If I'm paying, I'll use $1,200 for the example, $1,250 to go meet the people, I want to go sit down and have dinner, right? And I don't mean we got to go out to a restaurant, but we got to be able to sit down at a round table for 30 minutes and eat, have dinner, talk, just about whatever, not where I'm sitting there in line and I'm walking by with the shirt I just purchased or the hat I just purchased and you signed it for me. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sitting down, eating a meal, or just chatting. Maybe you're not going to eat. It's kind of weird eating with people sometimes, right? Not everybody likes to eat around everybody. Sitting down at a round table and chatting, but not about anything official, not about what's it like to be, anything like that. Just talking, right? Like you would anybody else. and getting their points of view about things. Those would be worth it, but not standing in the line, getting your item signed, and hustled out the back, and it's just like very not like lack of intimate, very not. I don't know, just I don't know. Not for me. Now, remember Nickelback? They got a new song. They got a new song called High Time about smoking weed. Who cares? Why did this come across my desk? First of all, nobody cares about Nickelback, right? They were the best-selling sucky bands ever. I know that it was funny because Chad Kruger talked about that before. He goes, "Yeah, we suck all the way to the bank." He goes, "Because we got 10 million albums sold." But I don't know why that just came across. Everything about smoking weed now. We should do a segment simply, and we've talked about the legalization of marijuana before and stuff like that, simply on the formation, I guess, the structuring, the legalities of these dispensaries and how they're going about it. I was reading a story in New York. A former convict for weed now going to be opening a cannabis shop. And he's going, I can't believe this full circle. Like I was put in jail for this. So they've actually in New York, they've halted the program temporarily, I guess. But it's basically they are allowing a certain amount of licenses toward those who had been incarcerated for possession of marijuana so that they can kind of give back for the, I don't know if it was unjustness because it was illegal at the time. Opens up a whole other can of worms when it comes to that because now you're talking, yeah, it's legal. Now in the state like Michigan, it's legal. You can go in the store and you can buy what you want and come right out with it. And there's no cops waiting out there for you. You're not meeting in gas stations and dark back alleys. It's an acceptable thing that the places voted for. I think Missouri just voted on it and shot it down. No, we don't want the marijuana, recreational or otherwise. And that's your prerogative. That's what you're allowed to choose or not choose as a place, as a state, as a city, as a township. You are now seeing after with Roe versus Wade, same thing. Now you're seeing the abortion thing being decided by your state governments. That is a good thing because the states are deciding what's best for them. I think we're going to see overwhelmingly that we know how that's going to end up being. All right, where are we at? We are going to break. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. Keep it locked. We'll be right back. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, 4. All right. All right, we'll be back in a few. I'll put on the time when we're coming back. I got a couple things to do. See you in a few. Howdy.
Hey there. Need to find my earphones. Where are they in this hot mess?
Yeah.
I don't know. Where are they? Well, they're not there.
No wonder it didn't look right.
They're not there. Well, this is a fine how do you do?
What, did you lose your headphones?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They don't travel out of the room.
Right.
They didn't get up and walk away, but apparently they did.
Well, you got 2 minutes.
Oh, great.
Or more.
One more? All right. Well, let's check around the floor. Ah, they fell on the floor. There we go. Little table that seemed like a good idea clearly is not.
Listening to Shoop from Salt and Pepper.
Shoot, baby.
My eyes itching and burning.
Oh, no. You looking at naughty stuff again?
No. You don't get itch and burn in your eye from that. That's another,
That's another myth, huh?
that's another disease.
Uh-oh.
Smell
45 seconds. Oh, we aren't back. Let me turn off my banner. Bloop.
Turn off your banner.
There, our sponsors. Go to janetscloset.com, janetsdungeon.com. Get you a butt plug with your loved one's urn, with the loved one's stuff in it, and then get caught at the airport with it. You hear that story I told you about that lady who did that? Crazy.
No. Don't do that.
Oh, we're going to do everything in the name of Jesus for the rest of the show. How's that sound?
Amen.
You're on the right track. See? There you go.
See?
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Plumber's here.
We have a long distance story to start with. Yes, I said long distance. This puts a little bit of, first of all, I'm not condoning smoking. This is not a story that says, see, it should be fine if you do. This is one of those that slips through the cracks, so to speak. Chain smoking grandpa runs a marathon in 3.5 hours. He puff past the other marathoners. A Chinese grandpa redefined smoke in the competition, if you will, after running an entire marathon in 3.5 hours while smoking the whole way. Images are lighting up on Weibo, the Chinese social media platform, as fans praise his quote-unquote respiratory fortitude. Again, ladies and gentlemen, young children of all ages, shapes, and sizes, and all children of any gender identity you might have right now. I don't condone smoking. Most people will not be able to be a 50-year-old grandparent and run a marathon while smoking cigarettes.
True.
But Uncle Chen, as he's known, accomplished this breathtaking feat in Xinjiang's marathon in Genève. A Giande. I don't know. I'm just telling you. He
That
ran
place.
the entire 26.2 miles while either smoking or lighting up a cigarette.
Busy.
I'm not even going to lie. He looks, okay, they say he's 50.
Mm-hmm.
He looks around 70, and he's in great physical shape. He looks like a boxer. I would not disrespect him to his face without good reason. He's a little guy.
Right.
He just looks mean as a box of nails. Oh, wait, tough as a box of nails, meaner than a junkyard dog. That's it.
Put them together and don't mess with them, yeah.
Now, smoking is kind of at odds with long-distance running.
Yeah.
But this tobacco-loving grandpa managed to complete the 26.2 miles in 3 hours, 28 minutes, and 45 seconds. Considered a good marathon time.
Uh-huh.
Uncle Chen placed 574th out of 1,500 runners.
It's respectable.
So, top third.
Yeah, respectable.
There's pictures of him running, lighting up. And, of course, when you're running, you got to cup your hand to light a cigarette. And he's doing it. Don't let this be a condoning thing. This is not a story to say, see, kids are riding to school right now. See, Mom? Told you. No harm, no foul. No, smoking's bad. We know this. But the beauty of our country in America is you have a choice. Now, they're in China. Obviously, they can smoke there, too. So,
I wouldn't be able to light it and run at the same time. I'd have to stop what I was doing because I'd trip and fall trying to do two things at once. So that'd be me.
His legs are huge, right? Very big runner's legs. Calves are giant. So he runs all the time. So he's not doing this as a one-time thing. He's got the shape of a runner, the physique of a runner. You know, I've not seen a lot of overweight Chinese people anyway. Their diet is a lot better than ours.
True.
Yeah, a lot better than ours.
True.
Interesting though. That was the headline is Marathon Man meets Marlboro Man. And what struck me to that whole topic, Bob, was Marathon Man, and I thought of the Marathon Bar from back in the 70s, so I clicked it hoping I could find out where to go buy one.
Where are they? Yeah, those were great.
Well, the audience just watched me on last break eat a Twix, and you would have thought I had pulled a piece of something out of the toilet and was eating that. It was terrible.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know what was in it, what was going on, whatever, but it was not what I was used to.
Maybe it was past its expiration date.
Yeah, I don't look at those. I should probably.
Well, never hurts.
A little celebrity soup, Ice-T, the rapper, the movie star, or the TV star.
The TV star.
Tracy Lauren Marrow, a.k.a. Ice-T. Not even concerned with the fact that they're trying to cancel him after his Saturday Night Live appearance, where none other than Dave Chappelle hosted. Saturday Night Live got hate mail for letting him host.
Well, they knew they would.
Good for them. Good for them. I'm sorry. Good for them. I'm LGBT. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but I'm transgender.
Now we know.
And some things are ridiculous. He's unconcerned about it, though. He's less concerned than I am of being canceled for appearing on SNL. And his response to the so-called cancel culture taking aim at him, he said, these MFers been trying to cancel me for decades. He ain't lying. So basically, he appeared in a cameo for a Saturday Night Live spoof of HBO's House of the Dragon, which I've never seen. But David Chappelle hosted this weekend. He introduced the clip in much the same way he used to on the Chappelle Show. Instead, it featured Chappelle and some of his most beloved characters. Ice-T also appears briefly in the clip, playing who Dave Chappelle calls light-skinned Larry Targaryen. They share a few barbs, including David Chappelle telling the rapper Ice-T that he looks like E.T. when they dressed him up for Halloween. Let me guess. The LGBT community are the ones wanting to cancel him.
I'd have to guess the same.
Find something better to spend your time with. I'm sorry, but come on. Just come on.
Yeah.
And now, that leads me to this. Dearborn, Michigan made national news, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fox News was on it like stink on poop.
Yeah.
And it's about banning books. I go,
Yeah, here we go.
yeah, exactly. Here we go. We're going to first look at it in the light of why would we want these books in our public libraries. There are good points for both sides of this story, right? There are good points that have nothing to do with the adult. We have to understand that what we're going to talk about now has to do with our children.
Sure.
Being afraid to come out, not knowing what to do, not having the skills and tools developed yet to be able to think through this as a rational adult. Why? Because they're children. And we're not talking about high schoolers. We're talking about the ages of 7 to 14 years old.
Right. Preteens and teens, developmental stages.
Yeah. One person says, I spent my childhood pretending to be Lucy, and Anne and Laura, all characters from the books that they read. They say, I remember my parents restricted my reading. They restricted access to banned books very rarely, right? They wanted me to read these books of diversity. He says, I wanted to read The Bluest Eye when I was 10. My mom told me I'm not old enough. I read it anyway. She was right. I wasn't old enough to read it. But most of the time, their parents believed that all reading was good, and reading gave new ideas that were crucial to helping you grow. We have to remember we don't know what a child is going through, only what they show us.
True.
So this person says, I'm a child of the South. I grew up thinking the Yankees were the bad guys in the Civil War. Perception. Without books like Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, which has been banned for racial slurs, I may never have thought critically about the benevolence of white Southerners toward African Americans. I grew up in the Bible Belt. Without heroines like Meg Murray from the frequently banned A Wrinkle in Time, I don't know how long it would have taken me to realize that girls could be more concerned with saving the world than finding a husband.
True.
Like all adolescents, they wanted to fit in. Without The Giver, which is banned, it would have been even harder for me to embrace the things that made me unique.
I guess we talk about banning books versus maybe appropriate access to books.
Correct. Ding ding. That's it right there. Appropriate age level access. And right. I'm sorry, need to know.
True.
If a child comes to you at the age of 6 and says, you named me Larry, but I'm a Mary, you could go about it in a couple different ways.
True.
How do you want to raise your kid to, that's up to you to decide. But there are good points to these banned books that we as adults can't see. And that is, we don't know what the child's going through. Everybody wants to fit in. Without The Giver, they would have never been able to know it was okay to be different. Banned books give new ideas, new dreams, a new lens through which to view the world.
And I think a public library is a perfectly good place for them.
Yeah,
the
public library is.
the general library that the entire public can go to, including the kids can go there if if the parents deem that they could read that kind of book or they're not worried about it. That's great, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in an elementary school where youngsters who are not age appropriate for certain contexts are able to grab it and pick it up.
Banned books allowed this person to think on their own, form their own opinions. And they say banned books open a whole new world. Now they're banned, and now other kids won't be able to help self-help themselves, right? You might be internalizing where you're 11, 12 years old, and boys are starting to notice girls and the boobies and I got into my dad's Playboy and I ripped out this picture and look at this, and boys are starting to be boys and girls are starting to be girls. And if a boy is sitting there at 11 or 12 going, this doesn't seem right, I like my own sex, it's confusing enough for them at that point, right? They may not be comfortable enough to go home, even with a completely accepting family, to say, I have this funny feeling I might be different and I might be gay, to which you would say as a good parent, you're not different. What does that have to do with anything? What? You're not different. It's okay. What's the big deal? Right?
Go ahead and go ahead and figure out who you are. And
no, we're not getting you a set of D cups until you're old enough to do that on your own, which the average age is 29, not 14. So calm down.
That's right.
Banned books entice reluctant readers, right? The one lady, and I have a problem with this a little bit, a middle school English teacher says banned books are a crucial part of her classroom. I have a problem with that a little bit.
If you're forced to take the class, yeah.
But she said, I found that if you want to really pique the interest in a child, tell them they have to get a permission slip to read the book. Because now they go, whoa, this is something I want to read, even though it might not have been. If you just go, okay, when you get home, read, Debbie Does Dallas, the text version. They'd go, oh, I don't want to hear more about politics in Dallas, Texas. But then you start reading it and you go, wow, oh, man, they're doing it. Right.
True.
Banned books can show kids that they fit in. Right. So, The Outsiders. Remember that movie, the book? Right? They say they teach kids who catch the school bus outside of low-income housing. They ride through deprived neighborhoods. You learn in a building where the heat and air conditioning frequently fail. You don't necessarily want to read about a boy wizard at a boarding school, although that one's banned too. That would be Harry Potter. I think they're banning that now too. You don't want to read about British girls desperate for husbands or anything that seems completely disconnected from what you're trying to do in your life. Slip them a copy of Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, and they'll finish it in no time. Kids who have never finished a book before, she said, read 13 Reasons Why, and Yaqui Delgado wants to kick your ass like they're a bag of chips and a cold Dr. Pepper. So yeah, it piques their interest. Banned books show kids they fit in. Now, this person says, call me a cynic, but I've noticed a common thread in banned books. The heroes are gay or black or Latino or really tough girls or poor or people with disabilities or mental illness or all of those. Most books about wealthy, white, straight-A students don't get banned. Nobody's calling the library to complain about the Hardy Boys. Well, again, it's how you present it too, right? A lot of that we have to go within reason. again, I like what Bob said. Age appropriate in the library. Oh, well, the one lady says that her son is into historical fiction at 9 years old, and she's dreaded it because history sucks. It's an endless recounting of people acting humanely toward other people. Absolutely. My son, she said, is sensitive, and you're going to learn about an endless recounting of people acting inhumanely toward other people. Man. Genocide, Holocaust, slavery, right? She wants them to stay innocent. Keep their faith that the world is a good place for everybody. Once that faith is gone, it's gone. Let's go back a little bit. 9-year-old boy in Target in Los Angeles stabbed in the back by a 40-year-old man for no reason. Not that there would be. But he walked up to him and told him, I'm going to stab you and kill you multiple times, and then stabbed him, and thankfully the kid's going to live. One thing to keep in mind, it doesn't matter as a parent if you're ready for the conversation, whether it be about sex, race, anything. It doesn't matter if you're ready for it. What matters is that they're ready for it and they're bringing it to you. The dads out there that have been dreaming that their boy's going to play football like they did and find the hot chick girlfriend and live that American dream and all that. And then you find out that your son is gay. It doesn't matter what you're ready for, right? It's what they're ready for. It's what their life is about. So the boy who's 9 years old who wants to learn about history, she don't want him to learn about that, but he wants to. So guess what? He wants to learn about injustice. He wants to know about the darker side of humanity. He wants to know about poverty and oppression and racism. All the things that we want to shield our child from to give them a good upbringing. Makes for hard questions at night when a child is absorbing all this information.
Sure.
And as a parent, you just wanted to watch your show and move along.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't.
No, that comes with the territory of raising another young human in the way that we would like them to go.
What's important about knowing the ugly parts of history? That's the only way you can change them. If you don't know that bad exists, well, that's a good thing in a way, but then you can't help be part of the solution either.
No, and you might end up doing the same bad, not knowing that it was bad for, a different point of view or from another person's perspective it's bad, but you wouldn't know it. I mean, there are things that are universally bad, and then there are things that are culturally bad, depending on your knowledge and your education and all that.
There's a book that's banned, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. It's about dying. One of the most banned books in 2022.
Why is that, I wonder?
I don't know. Probably there might be racism in it or something.
I mean, I've got to imagine there's more to it than just the story of somebody dying and people being with that person. I guess.
1,648 titles banned, 2,500 books banned in 2022. That's a lot of books.
It is. And again, what is it banned? Is it banned from everywhere, or is it just banned from school libraries, or is it banned from
school libraries? And that's the biggest thing we have to understand. And we know people that are both sides of the fence on this, and I know people that were in Dearborn, Michigan, that were counter protesting the protesters saying we want to ban these books. We have to understand the content of what's in the book. If it has to do with sex, the actual act of, which means pornography style, no. There's no place for it.
Mm-hmm.
If it has to do with the well-being of a child's psyche and they read the book, and like, I dare say that a straight 12-year-old boy who is noticing girls' boobies and noticing their sexy legs and all the things that men sexualize about women, they're not even going to be interested in Bird and Ernie, the gay couple. They're not going to get it. They're not going to spend their energy on it. They're 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be playing with their baseball cards or figuring out what the next baseball game time is out in the yard or whatever it is they're interested in. Maybe it's video games, but they're not interested in it. So it's not like a kid is going to go to a public library in school, a school library, pick up a book and go, oh, I turned gay, I read this book. It's about pornography. It's about what content is in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, you nailed it. It's age specific. What's appropriate for the age of the people?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would expect a high school library to be a little different than an elementary school library.
Yeah, for sure.
But I still wouldn't necessarily expect it to be the same as the public library either. I mean, the public library should be pretty much a universal forum for information.
We get so worked up about the issue, but that's why I started out with the reasons why banning books are dangerous. Mm-hmm. But again, it's got to be, and we do. And in Dearborn, Michigan, they have a lawsuit now. They were served a lawsuit in a meeting about this. We got to have somebody read these books. We need a committee, and that's what they did. They had a group of people read the books and decide, is this stuff we want our kids to read? It has nothing to do with whether or not you support the gay community. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have anything to do with whether you're racist or not.
Right.
It has to do with, is this content suitable for my second grader?
Mm-hmm. And you're going to have a different perspective between public schools and private schools, too. I mean, in public schools, where you have a school board and you have the public involved because they're taxpayers paying into the school system and everything else, you're going to have more input from, say, a private school where the parents pay tuition, but you don't have to go there if you don't like it, you know. So the governing body of that place is likely to have more banned stuff, and you should probably expect that going in. You know, again, I think age appropriate, like, you know, said. I mean, I don't expect elementary school students to have access to some things that maybe high school students would, because now they're at an age where it can affect their life, you know, depending on their choices and things like that. And then to an adult public regular library where there's all kinds of stuff and, you know, really shouldn't be banned at all. It's...
Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of voting. That's the beauty of being involved in your community. That's a lot of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The most banned book in America, the most frequently all-time, 1984 by George Orwell.
Which probably by today's standards wouldn't be as, I mean, you wouldn't think would be as scary as maybe it was before 1984 when it was, you know, prophesying all kinds of things. And
now that's the most banned book in America. The most banned book in the world, J.D. Salinger, The Catcher in the Rye.
Mm-hmm. Yet that was mandatory high school reading material back in my day.
Charlotte's Web, banned.
What?
Charlotte's Web, due to themes of death and the fact that the main characters are talking animals, a parent group in Kansas sought to ban the book from their students' school libraries.
Well, then you've got to ban.
You ever watch Disney?
I was going to say, you got to ban every book that has a talking animal. Good luck. There's a point of taking...
Woods of the Owl, give a hoot, don't pollute, never be a dirty bird. What about forest fires, right?
Yogi Bear.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Bugs Bunny. These are people that used to watch these shows.
Right.
that are now so freaking stupid that they're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Stupid, all right. Extremism. At
Mice and men
at a ridiculous level, yes.
I'm tired of nobody can be homophobic, nobody can be racist, nobody can be sexist. No, yes, you can. It's just not popular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like banning all this stuff because it's now public library, like we've said, we got to specify what we're talking about because a school library to me is a lot different than the city library.
Right. And it should be.
Talking animals. Death is part of life. I dare say, talk to your kids about death and let them know you're already on the clock, babe.
Mm-hmm.
You're already on the clock. Handle it how you want.
Right.
It can scare the hell out of you, or it can scare the hell out of you. Either way. But it's reality. And kids need to know they don't live forever.
Mm-hmm.
Especially today's damn stupid kids shooting each other, shooting people, not understanding it's not Grand Theft Auto. You don't get 500 points for doing what you did.
Right.
You're a piece of crap for doing what you did.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you get 500 years.
Yeah. I can't get into this. I can't. People are so up in arms and they're going and lashing out and they're not allowing anybody gay to speak at the meetings and stuff like that. And it's ugly because we don't, and we got to understand we don't see this in society, but it's everywhere.
Yeah. But
I know people constantly, like on here, I'm getting messages all the time or statements all the time. Are you a boy or a girl? What's with the? Who cares? What do you care? What do you care? What does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
But we get all spun up about things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a kid in the library. I don't have a kid in school no more. I don't care what book you got in there. I'm not getting worked up about it. I don't care. Am I bad? Yep. I'm a bad lesbian. I'm a bad gay. I'm a bad transgender. I'm bad American. I don't care. You put Donald Trump and Joe Biden on the American ballot this year, I'm not voting. You can have it.
This is about to become a feces show.
People go, you got to vote. You can show your American right. I have a right to vote for what I want. I don't have to vote for what I don't want. If you're giving me two things I don't want, I'm not eating.
All right. Well, you have a right to vote, and if what you're being given you don't like either one, then you have a right not to vote too. It's like I'm not voting for something I don't want.
You know. And if you tell me I don't have a right to bitch because I didn't vote, I'll bitch anyway. I'll say to you, go fly 70 combat missions in Iraq and Afghanistan. Then you can complain.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody can top me and go, I lost my son or daughter in the war. When you die giving your life for your country, then talk to me.
Right.
We can categorize it all the way until we are no longer reasonable, which is what we do with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we do with a lot of things.
Yeah. Your right to vote is also your right not to vote for crap. I don't vote I don't support this, that, or the other, so why am I going to vote for it if I don't support it?
Yeah, and that's my stance right now with what I heard last night. I didn't hear it. I knew it was coming. Harley, congratulations. Harley got a job at FedEx. Start next week. Congratulations.
All right. Busy season. Busy season for Harley coming up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. They're hyping right about now,
holiday season. You know it. We'll see how Harley feels in 6 weeks.
Right. No, hey, that's a beautiful thing being able to work like that, though.
No, I know. No, that's
for sure.
I say that in jest. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a good thing. Yes. Now, last night's announcement was the worst kept secret of all time. Hello.
What's? Oh yeah, we all
Yeah,
knew.
we all knew days ago.
We knew January 6th by
Mhm.
9 p.m. what was going to happen eventually.
Right,
I
right.
just don't think it's the right thing for our country, and I think people are having a hard time saying that
Mhm.
because they don't want to be wrong about their guy, whether it's Trump or the other one or whoever. Neither of them, none of them, neither of them,
No.
neither.
I have to believe in the case of Trump that there are fewer devout, crazy activists for Trump than there were the first time around. The first time around when we didn't know anything about the man other than the policies that he was putting out, and you were voting for change from other policies, it's way different than now, where you've had 4 years to learn what can happen, and you may like some of the policies, but there's plenty of other people in the party that could execute those policies. It doesn't have to be him.
True, but would they?
Well, it depends, how they can lean. You can lean the right way, the same way on all of the points, but not be an idiot about how you do things and what you say in public and how you offend people and how you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very possible, and it's going to be an interesting run because there's going to be a shun. There'll be multiple people throwing their hat in now,
I don't think he stands a chance.
I don't either. Really, I can't see how. I mean, he's got his loyalists, but I don't think that the loyal crazy are nearly what they were the
that
first time around.
Dwindled, yeah. Well, there's a lot of people like me that I didn't necessarily vote for him the first time, but had I voted for him the first time, now I look back at it and I go, it isn't about him. It's about my country.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not right for it. We've seen that. In my opinion, other people are listening to me going, this bitch, he's perfect for this country. He's exactly what we need. I'm not mad at you for thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're crazy enough to think Joe Biden's the answer, I'm not mad at you for thinking that either.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have that beautiful right, and I owe you the respect. I fought for you to have that right.
Right.
I carried dead bodies. I carried parts of dead bodies out of the desert for you to have that right. It's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put it any more black and white than that. That's what we fight for.
Right. No, for sure. And it's also right now, at this point, this is the big problem with the two parties that we have, the two-party system, is that neither party is worth considering. It's like there are so many flaws on both sides that I don't know how you get the job done. And hey, where's the mighty middle third party that we've been talking about for 3 years? When is that going to start? Because I'm ready. I don't want to have to start it myself, but
yeah, and that's the thing though. When you start voting third party, if it minimizes, it throws a wrench in the whole thing. So I go, I'm not voting. If that's what you're going to put on my plate, I'm not eating. I don't have to eat. Ain't nobody starving. I'm not starving. I'll go hungry, but I ain't going to starve. But I'm not voting for either one of those, and I won't vote for someone else. I'm not going to participate in your bull crap game anymore.
Mm-hmm. I guess, until people get so fed up that the third party would become the majority party, and there's plenty of opportunity for that to happen if people took it seriously and made it happen, then yeah, you're not really accomplishing anything by doing it. But the fact is, it's a very viable solution in my eyes. Both sides have an awful lot of people not liking what they got.
Yeah,
and
it's a beautiful thing, but it's kind of scary. We're split down the middle. Like I said, I won't call it divided because that's a negative connotation. There's nothing wrong with a split country.
Right.
Something wrong with a divided country. We've got to be able to, even if it's 51-49, the majority wins, and we need the 51% to win. We need it. I don't care who it is. I do not like Nancy Pelosi. I don't like her, but I don't know her. I wouldn't disrespect the woman if she walked in the building. She's never done anything to me. I don't like her politics. I don't like the way she presents herself. I didn't care for the attack. I didn't care for it. I don't need to explain it. I don't like it. but I certainly don't wish any bad upon her. I
Right.
want her to win. If she's elected the Speaker of the House again, I want her to be the best one ever.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to win. Why? Because then we win.
Yeah.
This whole mentality of cut off our nose to spite our face, burn it all down, but you don't have a plan to rebuild it because half of the people like what's going on.
Right. If you could
I
take the half of the Democrats that are more moderate and half the Republicans that are more moderate, merge them in the middle, there's 50% right there.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't even count the independents, but they would be the center of that mix, And
True.
so you'd have more than 50% right there with 25% of the other two. I mean, it just, I don't know. Clearly I have, idealistic thoughts and expectations, but it doesn't seem like it should be all that hard.
If your choices were one vote for Republican, one vote for Democrat, or no vote at all, that would be something. No third party. You had to vote Republican, Democrat, or not at all. No independent. You got to vote for the one or vote for the other, or no vote at all. I'd like to see what happened.
Yeah.
Because then people are going to choose, right? Because most people will be compelled to vote, even if they have to choose between two they don't like. So if you had to choose between Trump and Biden, you're independent, you don't want either one. You had to pick one or not at all. But you've got to have your vote heard. You're one of those that you're not like me. I go, I'm not voting. You didn't give me anything to vote for. Then you're the person who says, I don't care. I have to be heard. Then you're going to vote. Which way will those votes go? We'll decide it.
Right.
But that ain't going to happen because they'll vote third party and hope for the best.
Of the two choices, and not given a third choice, and not liking either candidate or the representation that there is, you default, I guess, to the policies and the thoughts and what the party is representing and putting out, not liking the people that are executing it. So now, I guess, then the vote comes down to what ideals or what do I want to accomplish? Which side is promoting and providing more of what I believe we should be doing? You're not voting for the person, because if you're just voting for the person, there's a lot of no votes there. There's a lot of no votes. So then it goes back to, well, I don't have to like Biden or I don't have to like Trump, but I do believe the economy and I do believe this about the social issues, and I do, so then now you're going to make a decision based on that, which in a way probably should be how you should be voting anyway.
True.
One person, me opinion, but it's not about the person so much as it is what's behind it.
True. And we got to remember the biggest thing I want to take away from all of it already is 2022 leading into 2024. It's going to be one of the most brutal political seasons we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And I don't even care. I'm not even getting worked up about it because you've given me nothing to look forward to. You've taken away my Thanksgiving dinner. No football. No Thanksgiving tradition. We disband the whole day. It's just another Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it'll be just another Tuesday.
Yep.
I've got better things to do with my time to make my life better than to go vote for something that will not work for me either way.
And as individuals,
what works for me, I work for me. My life ain't going to change. You know why? I won't allow it to.
And we all, at this point, need to think a little bit about mental self-preservation, because the next 2 years are going to get nasty, and they're going to get nastier. And we thought we've had it bad the last few years with COVID and with the previous election. This is going to get ugly before it's voted on. And you're going to have to, if you're going to mentally survive, not lose your stuff or get totally, depressed to a point, you're going to have to learn how to separate some from it. You're going to have to spend less time on social media. You're going to have to change the channel more often. If you haven't already started, you're really going to think about it, I should think. And if you've already started, I've done that. There's a lot of stuff I don't watch anymore. I pick and choose when I have a few minutes, when I have my mental suit of armor on and I can deal with the slings and arrows of what's being thrown. But there's a lot of times where I just don't even want to hear it. And it doesn't, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't change anything. You're not contributing in any negative way that way.
Right.
And you're not having your own mind polluted with negativity of other people. So just something to think about.
Back your own state of mind. Taking back your own happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. We got 2 years. We're going to have 2 years of this now. I mean, it's always election time. It's always like that. But it's been worse, and it's going to get worse this time.
And we're going to hear, if you vote for him, then you're not my friend. And I say we probably weren't anyway. But that's okay. I'm not voting for anybody, so calm your ass down.
That's right.
And I'm mad.
And if that's what it takes to be your friend, then see ya.
Yeah, I didn't like.
I don't need you. You know.
Yeah.
I hope there's more
over all that. You know. Yeah. And
all right.
The right for gays to get married and all that. Yeah, of course, gays have the right to get married. It's too late. That Supreme Court's already in place now for lifetime. It's too late for that. Right. We got to talk about politics in the now.
Mm-hmm.
What's best for us now? That bridge is already burned.
Right. I'm hoping the extremism of social media that we learned something over the past few years too. I know we haven't learned a lot and it's going to continue, but it would be nice to see that maybe people saw what only did it not accomplish, but what damage it might have done, and try not to do that again, you know.
How does it affect me? What can I do about it? You got to ask yourself those questions every day about a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. How can I change my life to make it better? You can. We can do it. We just choose to be ingrained in our misery, and this is what we're used to. Not me. I'm not buying into it. I am controlling my life. I will make my life happy one way or the other. And when things don't go as plan A, B, C, or D, I'm still going to be happy. Why? I didn't ask to be here. I have no idea why I'm here on this earth. I don't know my purpose. Nobody does.
I think we learn our purpose, but we learn it too late. I mean, at the end of our life, we see things that we did and situations we were in and maybe ways where we did help contribute to make it a better place. But at the time, we don't know it. At the time, we don't pick up on it, you know. That's with age. With age comes wisdom, you know.
Absolutely. Well, we would hope. All right, do you have a word of the day? We're running a little bit behind.
You know what? I was so into the conversation here. If you want to talk about something else for a second, I can get it for you. I'm already in the random word. Come on, random generator. Here we go.
All right. Come on. Of course, now you're going to have the update.
Yeah, the update. Well, no, we're not doing that today.
No word of the day? That's fine. No big.
No, it's nullism. No,
nullism?
I got it. Word of the day, nullism. Nullism. It's the belief that reality does not exist. Nullism. Reality does not exist. It's how a lot of people walk around. We've been talking, gee, how funny it fits into our politics.
Well, there's
Nullism,
people that
belief
think
that reality does not exist.
Our energy explodes and it's a second of energy, and then our lifetime is the residual energy from that. So everything we've done, we've already done. Like right now, already happened when our energy formulated.
So we're just catching up with what already took place.
That would be nullism. I don't believe that my reality is what it is. That's weird. I can't. We don't know. It's so crazy because
it is.
We don't know. It's like, is this really this is my reality, but what's your reality? What's there? It's just weird. We'll know when we die, I guess.
A lot will be revealed at that point, yes.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
All right, we're in for another 2 years of craziness, but we're ready for it here on Sapphire'S Soup du Jour. We'll make fun of everybody the whole way through.
Soup's going to get hot.
Yeah. All right, that does it for us. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, or wherever you were listening. And remember, opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking, and loyalty is not only a word, it's a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket. And in a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea what a kind word and a friendly smile can do to impact someone's day. Until Friday morning, I'm Sapphire'S.
And I am just Bob.
We are out of here. Have a great day. Bye-bye. And that's all the fun you can have for one day.
Your time is up.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Well, that was fun. Tons of fun.
That's right. Come join us again next time.
You know, same bad time, same bad station. I'm just getting all this shut down. I did hear people coming in and out, but good morning.
What's that?
You want to leave it up or?
Yeah, leave it
All
up.
right. I accidentally shut this down, bro.
We just have an interview to do it like 10.
Oh,
Just
okay.
shut that part down.
So leave this on there. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Sounds good. I thought I heard people coming in a little bit ago. All right. That concludes our broadcast. Thanks for watching. We will see you Friday.
Friday morning.
I just forgot again. Bye-bye.